Hi guys, hopefully we are live now. Just let us know if you can see and hear us okay. I see Jamie is first on YouTube. Well done, Jamie. Always the first. Afternoon to you. If you're watching via Facebook, can you let me know if we're live? And if you're watching via YouTube, can you let me know if we're live and that you can see and hear us okay? I'm just going to jump into the comments. I think today the comments are going to be important from you guys about gathering the understanding of what we're going to be talking about today. I'm sure lots of you will have some questions and things like that. So I'm just going to jump into the comments here. We've got Andy, we've got Daniel, we've got Imran. Hi, guys. Who else have we got? We've got Bruno, Hayden, lots of people jumping on. We knew that this was probably going to be quite a popular one today. Just let us know if you can see and hear us okay. Simona, Noreen, Hayden. Perfect. Someone on a Facebook user has said it. I'm going to keep an eye on the phone so I can keep an eye on names as well. We've got Phil, we've got Ella. Great guys. Philip, Daniel, thank you for confirming that. Appreciate it. Hi, Mark. Loads of people who's taking massive action. I know who that is without even having to look at who said that comment. Always, Sean. We're always taking massive comment for massive comment. Massive action for sure. So brilliant. Lots of people joining us, which is fantastic. Simon, Angela, guys, good to have you here. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Bruno, for confirming on YouTube that you can hear us fine. Perfect. Hi, Sashi. Hi, Johnny. Yeah, just a few more people coming in. Right. So first things first, before we get started on the high fat, sugar and salt stuff, we have a little bit of an exciting announcement at Ecom Inner Circle. As you know, it was a joint venture between Matthew Wright and myself in creating this this group, and what we want to achieve with it moving forward, and how we're going to kind of differentiate ourselves from some of the groups out there for different reasons, not because we think we're better or anything like that, but we want to offer a different dynamic. And it became pretty clear quite early on that there was someone else that we wanted to bring in and add a different dynamic to the team, but a massive wealth of experience and knowledge in this space, who will be able to, I'm sure you agree when you guys find out who it is, that he is somebody who has a massive amount of knowledge as well as experience, and is literally one of the biggest sellers in the UK. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome our new Ecom Inner Circle partner, not just a team member, partner, going to be working with us together moving forward. So if everybody can take this, I've already given it away. It's a he. I'm rubbish at reveals. So without further ado, if you'll join me in welcoming our new Ecom member, it's Johnny Smith. Welcome, Johnny.
Hi, how you doing? It's a few good guesses.
Yeah, a few good guesses coming in there. Welcome. So here we go. Just looking at the comments. I really excited myself too much then. I was like a child at Christmas. I just got way too excited too quickly. So terrible at keeping. Yeah, I know I'm rubbish. Well, I think it was obvious, we were talking about different things. So hopefully you guys, well, I know you won't be disappointed because Johnny brings, like I said, such an insane level of experience, of knowledge, of doing things differently, thinking outside of the box. And so to have you part of this team is, absolutely phenomenal. So thank you so much for joining us. And I know the phrase game changer gets thrown around a lot, but I really do genuinely think that it's going to be a game changer in the sense of the things that I know that we have planned for this group moving forward. So lots of lovely comments there. So
no, absolutely. I think both Matthew and yourself just kind of complement my skills, and I think you guys always sort of been the missing gaps in my sort of e-commerce knowledge, and hopefully I sort of bring in the sort of software and wholesale sort of side to you guys. So it's good to be on board.
Absolutely. And I think that's the thing when you look to work with people, and I'm massively always open to working with with different people across different skill sets and things like that. And the more people, and who knows, there might be more that join the crew at a later stage. We're definitely not closed off to anything. It's definitely something we just want to be able to offer the best possible value, for what we're doing. And like I said, Johnny, top 500 seller now. What was it at the last count? It was 360 or something in the UK, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's around 360. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got to that pretty quickly. So yeah, really proud of my team and where we've got to. So it's a nice number.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be like fully happy until we reach the top 100, but there's something about the top 100 that you want to reach, right? But I reckon in 6 months or Q4 we'll get there, depending on.
Awesome. Well, now that you are part of the team, I'm sure that you will keep us updated. Sorry, there were so many comments that came in at that moment. I wasn't able to read them all out, but lots of congratulations and thanks so much, guys, for welcoming Johnny aboard. Honestly, you have no idea how much I had to stop myself from saying, as you came on the live then, saying, here's Johnny. I literally had to stop myself from doing it. But yeah, I'm so excited to have you here. So now that Johnny is part of the team, we can do these type of things that we're going to be talking about today. And not only because I think the thing is, and it's part of the reason why this partnership formed, was we were talking about there's so many different, always changing things, and there's sorry, I've just had a message come in. Have we gone off live or something? Oh no, sorry. I need to turn my notifications off while I'm live. Sorry. But there's so many different roadblocks that come into place when you're selling on e-commerce, in e-commerce businesses. And like I said, we predominantly talk about Amazon, but of course, Johnny, like Matthew, you're a big Shopify seller as well now. We've got Matthew's a massive experience on eBay as well. And there's all these kind of roadblocks that come into place. And sometimes we just talk about these roadblocks and we try and give as many solutions as we can. But sometimes those solutions go out of my depth of experience or Matthew's depth or whoever, because it requires maybe a software alternative or something like that. But working with yourself, Johnny, now we've formed this team, what we're able to do is if there is a solution that needs to be a more technical solution, which is exactly what happens with the high fat, sugar and salts, then we're going to be able to work together moving forward to be able to create those solutions for people. And that's, I think, what I'm most excited about.
Yeah. So I come from a family of sort of software developers. One of my brothers is a very sort of successful tech entrepreneur, and my other brother is sort of a senior software engineer. So it's sort of within my family. I did a few modules at university on it as well. So it's always been something I've really been interested in. And Amazon e-commerce is a data business, right? So understanding software, understanding how to manipulate data is just so important, just to sort of give you shortcuts and save time and really just manage a business. And I think Hayden asked a question of like, what's the metric of a top Amazon seller? And I think it's units sold and reviews, basically. So reviews is usually correlated to units sold. So in terms of revenue, I doubt we're sort of in the same sort of leagues. We'll still probably be up there, but we're rank 350 for units sold on Amazon. And with the units sold, that requires a lot of software, a lot of inventory management, and that's where I think I sort of excel over others and why I've sort of grown so far, because people don't know I built my own custom sort of software solution, which I think is a step like leagues above everything else. I don't think that anything that does exist actually that I've built. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Yeah.
That was like a job interview then. It was like a job interview. But yeah, no, I think that what I'm most excited about is having that missing part, like I said, where we can finally be able to, if there is that type of solution like there is today, because the high fat, sugar, and salts, and we'll come on in a moment just to explain what it is. There's four main things that we wanted to talk about today. One, introduce Johnny and let everyone know that Johnny's joining the team, and for you guys to welcome him aboard, which is obviously what we've done. And like I said, I don't think we need to go into a massive amount of reasons. You are so well respected in this space as to why that you're joining the team, just the fact that we're so excited about it. Two, we're just going to quickly run over high fat, sugar, and salt regulations, what they are and why it's happened. The next part we're going to talk about is what you can do about it. So the solution that we've created, and solution might be a slightly different or maybe the wrong terminology for it, actually, because it's not really a solution, because the solution indicates that it's a fix and it's done and it's over, whereas this is something that we are going to have to implement it's going to change the grocery category moving forward. And that's the final part that we're going to talk about, is what impact this is going to have on people's businesses, predominantly that sell on grocery, moving forward. I mean, obviously the government didn't do this deliberately, but there really couldn't have been a more inconvenient time for these new regulations to come out. 1st of October, start of Q4, when predominantly most of the people who are probably listening to this are going to listen to this, who sell arbitrage wholesale. Even if you don't sell grocery for the rest of the year, you're going to at least probably dip your toes into some type of seasonal grocery during this period of time, because it's traditionally so profitable. So that's what essentially we're going to cover today. So check on point one. We've welcomed Johnny. So thank you so much for being here and being part of the team. We're really happy, really excited.
Yeah, I think, as you said, like, there's no solution to a law. It's a legal binding law that's came in, right? So there's no sort of solution that it will go away. But what we can do is sort of manage it and sort of cope with it as much as possible, because the amount of data entry is going to cause all businesses, actually, like every business who's in, the Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Ocado, all that, is going to majorly affect, chocolate brands. It's going to majorly affect everyone. So there's no real solution, but there's a way to tackle things. There's a way to make things easier, and yeah, that's what I'll show you guys later.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get onto that in a moment. We are just going to briefly talk about we're going to talk about what HFSS is very briefly for anyone that doesn't know. We have talked about it quite a lot over the last couple of weeks, so I'm not going to go into it in huge detail, but for anyone that might be watching for the first time, essentially, I think it was back in 2020, so quite a long time ago, this was announced that there's going to be a change in the way that unhealthy foods could be advertised moving forward. And this is, like we've always said before, this is UK only. So if you sell in Europe, it's not going to affect you. It's only going to affect you if you are outside of Europe and selling in the UK, which of course is possible, of course, on Amazon. But what it does do is it impacts one of the largest selling categories on Amazon, which is grocery. And this is something that is passed. I think it passed at the start of the year. It was introduced in 2020. The law was passed at the start of the year to come into effect on the 1st of October 2022. So we've still got a month before it comes into effect. But as you guys know, through Amazon updates and things like that, you've started to see it come through. And what we will say at this point as well is Amazon still have not released much information on this yet. So we've taken the information that they have released and looked at how it's going to impact on general businesses, and this is what we've sort of come up with. So what we hope we've done is we've done a 2+2, and we hope we've come up with 4, but it may change. Just want to make that clear. That's fair in saying, isn't it, Johnny?
I think so. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. I think Amazon have just sort of released one sort of page release, and that's about it. But no sort of gone into detail of how really it's going to affect everything. But yeah.
That's Amazon. That's Amazon at the end of the day. Yeah, if you've been selling for a certain period of time, you'll be fully aware of that. So that's what we've done. We've looked at what the information is out there, and we have hopefully come up with a solution that will take some of the headache out of that. And like I said, I don't want this being sold as any type of miracle, press one button and it's done. There is still work involved. There will still need to be due diligence involved, as should everything on Amazon. I do not believe in a perfect 100% solution, automated solution. I don't think it exists, to be honest. It still requires a level of human due diligence. I know you feel the same anyway, Johnny, for sure.
Unless you have someone who's auditing the sort of nutritional database, there's no way to have any sort of automated system where, you can count on the reliability of where you're getting the information from, right? Everything is sort of manual to an extent because it's all sort of, well, I guess it originally comes from the brand and then breaking it down. And even at that level, you've had lawsuits before where like brands will lie about the nutritional information, sort of like Lenny and Larry's, if anyone knows that protein cookie brand, they got sued in America because they lied about nutritional data. But yeah, the point is that you can't really automate this because you're not going to get accurate data because there's not really anything that's accurate. It's being worked on. I don't know if we want to talk about that now with sort of GS1, who are working with, Ocado, Sainsbury's and all that to get a good database. But, again, brands might lie to the retailers anyway. So,
yeah. That's the most important thing to state here, actually, and Johnny's absolutely right. So GS1, who are the main barcode, provider worldwide for UPCs and EANs, they are and I think this is one of those things that it's kind of gone a little bit under the radar, and I don't think people realize the impact this is going to have on consumables moving forward. And when you have the likes of GS1 putting out statements saying that they are going to build a database of accurate information, it's not ready now. And, whenever it is ready, when it becomes ready in the future, I think we're both agreed, because it's GS1, then we should be able to plug, that information in at the time, and we will feel more confident about that information at the time, as opposed to what is available now. So it will become more automated in the future. But as it stands at the moment, the solution we've got, there is definitely going to be a certain level of manual input. But it's better than what you would have had to do. That's the way I see it. It's better. Yeah, it's definitely better than what you would have had to do. So very, very quickly. So that is what high fat, sugar, and that's what it stands for, high fat, sugar, and salt. So how does this impact on Amazon? And that's the big question. So there was two main areas of this law that we weren't aware of. And this is law, it was passed through Parliament. So it is new regulation. So Amazon, for anyone, we talked about this in depth, before. So again, I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. So for anyone out there thinking, well, I saw it's 50 employees. I haven't got 50 employees. We're all under the illusion that Amazon is just going to treat, everyone as having 50 employees. So there's no get out clause. It's going to affect everybody, Amazon and third-party sellers. So that's the way that we have to look at it. But there's two main things. And the second one we're still not 100% sure on yet. So this law, it affects generally the promotion and identification of what is considered to be unhealthy goods through a new calculation system. It's going to be any type of food now has to have its nutritional information calculated, and it has to be given a score, which will then give it a term of either healthy or less healthy. That's what it is. Or not in scope, which which essentially means that it's
a
not.
Toy.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's a toy.
Yeah.
It doesn't fall under that category. So those are the three main categories that are going to be featured on the Amazon listing page moving forward. It's either going to be not in scope, which nothing to do with grocery whatsoever, less healthy, or healthy. So, there's whether any in the future there will be further, will it be like the Nando's chart? In the future with more variations, who knows? But as it stands at the moment, That's what it is. It's either going to be healthy or less healthy. And Amazon are going to adopt pretty much every grocery listing into this new scoring system. So there's 59 subcategories in grocery that this is going to impact, and it is your confectionery, bakery. I mean, I've looked through it and I can't see many, apart from like maybe party wear or like table decorations. You know, I can't see anything that it isn't going to impact. So the way that we're certainly looking at it is it's grocery. It's like the whole of grocery. So, and how it stands at the moment. So again, a little bit more information's now come out. We didn't know how it was going to impact before if you didn't upload this information to Amazon. We didn't know whether or not the listing would be removed. So if you think like declaration of conformity for toy, if you don't upload the information, listing gets removed. Now, reading between the lines, I think we've sort of established, and again, until Amazon confirm this stuff, we don't know. This is speculation. That the listing will not be removed, but it will just move in to less healthy. That, you know, it will automatically move into less healthy. You know, so even if it's like a bundle of apples and nobody uploads the information, it will just automatically move into less healthy. It's as simple as that. That's what it will come, you know, down to. So fingers crossed it's not going to be as bad as we initially thought it was. But still, at the end of the day, there's a lot of work that needs to be involved, because if you're someone like Johnny that has thousands of listings that this is going to affect, I appreciate not everyone has that, but it's still, you know, a headache to be able to deal with. And then,
yeah, to be honest, go on, Natalie. Yeah, I was going to say
no,
reasons.
I talk great. Did you carry on?
So actually, like it's you know, one of the reasons I wanted to build this tool is because you know, people inputting that data helps me as well, because I have over 10,000 listings. So yeah. I mean, if someone else can help and put the nutritional information into those different ASINs, then it helps everyone out, right? So it's a community thing. I think everyone needs to get together and put that data in, just so things don't get suppressed. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we are very much looking at this like it's declaration of conformity. Once it's been uploaded, it makes it okay for everyone else. The only thing is, I have seen some recent wording on Amazon that makes me think that's not the case. But again, those finer details, I'm not even going to speculate on until Amazon makes this announcement, because we could go back and forth. In the meantime, you know, we've got that solution. So I think it's more important to make sure that we don't focus on stuff that's outside of our control until we focus on that stuff. So, you know, that's what I'm saying essentially. So what I think, you know, we will do at this stage is really look at what we can do to impact, as I said. So I really want everyone to focus on that side of it, what we can do. Now, the other side of things, so where this law came into place essentially is it came into place to provide everyone with that indication of whether it was healthy, less healthy, or whatever. But it also impacts on promotion of unhealthy foods. So your 3 for 2s, you buy one, get one free, that type of thing. Now, recently, because of the cost of living crisis, the government has actually delayed that side of things for a year. So you will still see you buy one, get one free, 3 for 2, that type of thing. That is still going to be allowed. Okay, that's still going to be allowed. And it's been delayed for a year. So, but that doesn't really impact us so much. The score is what impacts us more for the guys that are traditional reselling. But for the guys that are creating their own products that maybe rely on some level of advertising, then what this may impact, again, still don't know from Amazon, will we be able to use paid advertising moving forward on a product that is deemed less healthy? That we still don't know. But when I was talking about this to Johnny yesterday, the realization of this, which is everything's pretty much going to get moved into less healthy now. So if that is the case in the grocery category, well, I mean, everything's going to move in as default. That's what it's going to move in. You've got I think 60 days for it to, to provide the information. If everything's going to be in less healthy, it ultimately means that paid advertising for the grocery industry could be done essentially. But again, I'm not going to speculate on that too much because we just don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's just a worst case. It's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it, if that happens? And you think like you don't really understand how much is less healthy as well. Like people don't get it. Like stuff like obviously like soy sauce, because it takes into consideration stuff like sodium, right? And you'd be surprised about all the sort of processed products that are on Amazon and how much like sodium they have, which then puts it into the less healthy category. So, if they take away the whole promotion, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. So
it is.
Yeah, and that's just Amazon though.
Yeah, that's Amazon, and that's what we're going to impact moving forward. But I did think that they would be doing that. I did think that that's what Amazon was going to do, but then I realized the realization of it, that actually they'd have to remove paid advertising for pretty much the whole of the grocery market. I think that they will find a way around it. And I think promotional will be like paid advertising. That's, maybe I'm trying to kid myself, I don't know, but that's what I think moving forward. So that's essentially what it is. But the main impact for what we're going to be talking about today is for those of you that have grocery listings, for those of you that have them in your inventory already, or you're going to be adding grocery listings moving forward, how you can take that information and you can make yourself almost compliant on Amazon. Because I know it's one of those things that I think that sometimes you might think, well, if it's less healthy anyway, what's the point? I'm just going to put it down as less healthy. But we don't know if at a later stage Amazon might put this as a metric. If you don't have the information, we don't know. We don't know about that. So again, we would rather do it and make yourself Amazon compliant more than anything else. So that's why we are doing what we're doing today. So that's essentially it. So now I'm going to kind of pass over to Johnny a little bit about I'm going to go through some comments first, and then I'm going to pass over to Johnny, and we're going to run through. Johnny's going to do a live demonstration of what he's built, what he's put together, and how it can help anyone with existing grocery listings to get yourself up to date and compliant on Amazon before the 1st of October. But then obviously will have an impact for listings that you add to your inventory from the 1st of October moving forward. So just before we jump into that, I just want to say there's a few questions. Amanda said, welcome, Amanda. We all know Amazon does knee-jerk, which will impact loads of sellers. Thankfully, I'm mainly beauty, but we do have top-selling nutritional product. I wonder if less healthy will be shown less. Maybe that's a good point. And again, Johnny and I were talking about it this yesterday, is that, there are nutritional products that, although that they are billed as healthy, because of their ingredient content, and the score that they give, they might have like really high levels of protein, which might not be good for you, or something like, not good for you, might not be deemed to be good for you, which actually might move them into that. So this could affect that, definitely. But the way that Amazon have said it, Amanda, that it will affect the 59 categories. I'll do a post later, and I'll put, the 59 subcategories in grocery. They have not said outside of grocery at this stage, but I didn't read each one of the 59 categories one by one. So it may well be, it might be like nutritional products, health and personal care, something like that. So maybe, who knows?
The follow-up's quite interesting, actually.
Sorry, Johnny.
So Amanda, the follow-up by Amanda is quite interesting. We can use outside of Amazon ads and traffic driving content. But this is applied across the whole, not just Amazon, right? It's everywhere, online, in supermarkets and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if you can actually drive traffic outside Amazon, because even on your own website, you can't display the stuff on the front pages and stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure if that actually is going to help.
Yeah.
What do you think, Natalie? That's sort of your,
again, it's one of those things moving forward. It's how far are these guidelines going to be interpreted by individual tech suppliers? I think that's the thing. We know very clearly, and this is the interesting thing that does annoy me, actually. The interesting thing is this is designed predominantly for physical retailers. It's for your supermarkets. This is designed for, but of course it's law, so it impacts everything. So they haven't created a separate set of regulations for the online industry. So I think it will come down to tech companies making individual choices on how far they interpret that data and what it can be and what it can't be. Like everything, I always say it's one of these things. One of the biggest lessons was Brexit, for Amazon and things like that, where we were all saying before Brexit, don't worry, Amazon will sort it out. Amazon won't not know what to do, kind of thing. And then when it came to it, we were like, oh, no, Amazon don't have a plan either. And I think whilst it's not as big an impact as Brexit, it will be similar in this case. I think we're just literally going to have to wait and see what the tech providers decide to do. Ben said outside traffic won't work. The only way, I mean, I'm tending to agree. I think the only way will be driving traffic potentially through social media in a way that gets around creative way. It's going to be creative ways that are going to get around it. TikTok videos implying stuff, that's what it's going to come down to essentially. But yeah, any type of Google, Facebook, everything's going to be affected. And this is what we're going to talk about probably towards more the end of today's session, because again, people don't realize this is going to have a massive impact on a lot of people's businesses. And I know that there's something in specific that a company you've been talking to, Johnny, and they are a big confectionery supplier, and they're quite casual, and it took you by surprise, didn't it, when you had this conversation with them, whereas they were a bit like, yeah it'll be fine.
So I was kind of baffled by that. They just didn't. They were so casual about it, and it's sort of a brand I work direct with and sell on Amazon. But obviously, they have other channels like Moonpig is a big one, and we're going more into this later. But they wanted me to sell this product on Amazon, saying, "Look, it sells so well on Moonpig." And I was just thinking, well, that's going to come to an end, right? Because eventually, with this HFSS coming in, when you buy stuff on Moonpig, you won't be able to add extra stuff onto the baskets that is unhealthy, which is probably the main driver of their sales on something like Moonpig. So he didn't understand that. He just kind of was like, we're doing 10,000 units of this on Moonpig, and it's going to continue on Amazon, and we can replicate this. But I don't think they understand that Moonpig business model is going to come to an end. But I think we can get into this later, because there's a lot to sort of get into, and I actually think this will affect brands more than retailers, resellers. I think the actual brands themselves will be more affected by this than the resellers, because the reseller can just move on to a different item. They have that flexibility. Someone who's been trying to build a startup chocolate brand for the last year, it's going to be kind of screwed, I think. So.
Absolutely, 100%. This is predominantly the longer term impacts, and we will talk about this more at the end, is going to affect different people in different ways. Whereas, the middle part of what we're talking about, which Johnny's going to go into now, is going to impact on resellers. But if you are a reseller that predominantly sells other people's brands that are already established in selling on Amazon, nothing's really going to change for you guys, apart from the fact that you're just going to have to do this extra process when you list an item or for an item in your inventory. That's what it's going to come down to, because most resellers sell products based on the power of the brand that they are selling, which has already been established. That's why the arbitrage reselling model is so popular. You don't need to do any type of marketing. People are already typing that information in. They are already established products on there. So providing Amazon isn't going to remove those established products by not having this information. And I think Amazon do understand this, because they know if they'd have done what they did with declaration of conformity with toys and just removed everything that didn't have the information, can you imagine how many products would have been left? Not a lot, like probably 10%. all, 90% of the grocery inventory would have been removed on the 1st of October. So thinking about it logically, when I was like, oh my God, the sky's going to fall in at the start. But actually, when you sit down and think about it and how big an impact this is, even Amazon's not going to put themselves in that position. People think Amazon are random and this and that, but they would have thought about this and they know that they can't do that. I don't know if you agree with that, Johnny.
Yeah, I agree. I think Amazon are always sort of head of the game on these sort of things anyway. So I think they'll always find a way. Yeah, I do agree. I think
apart from Brexit.
Yeah, I think if anyone's sort of approaching sort of chocolate brands right now to launch their new products, I'd hold off on that, and sort of unique bundles as well, stuff like that.
We'll definitely talk about that, because there is a solution. For people that are going to be launching products moving forward. And actually, it's not as bad as what people think, because it really comes down to, and whoever's just put that, I don't know who's put that comment. Yeah, Andy, so I see this as an opportunity for people. So this is going to get rid of, a lot of people who are not very good at selling on Amazon, but just get through it by promotion and paid advertising. For this industry, it's going to come back down to really knowing now what type of good products sell, understanding the data, and how you can advertise those products moving forward. So again, I see this as an opportunity. It's not the end of the world, but as always, you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to evolve. It's as simple as that. Just a couple more comments. Ben said there are rules for both physical and online stores. For example, it says online sellers cannot show affected products unless the customer searches for it. So that's exactly it. So what it's going to be moving forward is you're not going to have your Cadbury's buttons are not going to be removed essentially from the Amazon catalog. What it's going to be, as in, if somebody types it in, it's still going to come up. Okay. And a bit like the Moonpig scenario, if they are searching for that product specifically, the results will be displayed, but they have to search for it specifically. So it's not going to come up now based on related searches or promotional service. It probably will still come up on related service. So if someone types in 12-pack of Cadbury's buttons, it will still show. It will show in organic rankings. That's what it will show on, but just not paid or promotional.
I think like Cadbury Dairy Milk is going to be fine. Products like that.
Cadbury's going to be fine.
Cadbury's going to be cool. Yeah.
But this ultimately as well, and again, I know we keep saying this, we will talk about it at the end, but this is why sourcing on Amazon is gonna impact sourcing the grocery category, which we may not go into in much detail today because we're going to have to wait to see evidence of it. But the way that you source stuff now, if you use predominantly software to source for stuff, well, you're going to have to look a little bit deeper now to see if there's a lot of organic interest in those goods moving forward. Because if they are in that position and they've established that position purely through paid advertising, if that paid advertising drops, then so are their organic rankings are going to drop, which means that they're not going to show up as much to the Amazon customer eyeball, which means they're not going to sell as much. So there is a really big impact to this moving forward. So, but let's deal with, well, I say the easy part. It's not really the easy part. Johnny's made it easier for us. Let's deal with the part that's going to impact on Amazon. So I'm going to come out and Johnny's going to share his screen, and he's going to run through. What he's going to run through here is what you need to do. We just wanted to establish this, didn't we? Johnny's going to run through. There's a quick and kind of dirty way to do this, and there's a way that Johnny's going to do this, because Johnny's created two options. But like we've said, there is a predominantly automated version, but we cannot rely on the data 100%. So if you choose to use that option and you don't verify the information, which none of us are going to recommend that you do, then that is on you guys. Okay, we want to make that absolutely clear. Johnny's going to show you the right way and the wrong way. Well, there's two ways to do it, and Johnny's going to show you the way he's going to do it as well, just so we clarify that side of the information, because For some of you, I mean, Johnny, 10,000 listings, and even you're still going to do this part manually anyway, aren't you? Because you don't want to put the wrong information into Amazon.
Yeah, so I think mostly manual, to be honest. So I think everything's gonna be manual somewhat, just to make sure. But I had to find a way with 10,000 plus listings. It's just hard. But yeah,
definitely. Okay, right. So I'm going to pass you over to Johnny. I'm going to come off screen for a moment and leave you in Johnny's very capable hands. So I'll come back and see you in a minute, guys.
All right, cool. So this is what I've built. It's a calculator. I just need to fiddle with some settings because I realize it's just going to show one tab. So just bear with me for a few seconds while I just sort of switch something up.
Do you want me to come back on? Do you want to come off your screen quick? If you need to fiddle.
Okay. I'll be 5 minutes, 2 minutes, sorry.
Okay, I'll just remove you. I'll talk quickly there. I'll just remove Johnny. Oh, actually, no, I'll bring him back, but I'll take him off. There we go. Yeah. Okay. There we go. We can't see your screen now. The power of live technology. So yeah, that's obviously, like I said, so just to reiterate what Johnny is going to go through. Johnny, let me know when you're ready. But what we're going to go through is at first, when I sort of said to Johnny, is there anything we can do on this? Because I know that this is massively going to impact, well, every single seller. And some sellers have thousands of listings. I said, is there a way that we can push a button? We can upload the information, we can automate it, we can make it super easy for everyone to do. And that's what we looked at doing first of all. And that's what Johnny built first of all, was something very automated. But we soon realized afterwards, and this is the power of the wealth of working with sellers that sell a lot on Amazon, is we quite quickly realized that actually a lot of the information that's coming back, we can't verify it. We don't know if it's true or not. So there is going to have to be a level of manual checking to this, because when it comes to providing information, I don't think anyone's account is going to get suspended over uploading the wrong famous last words. When it comes to Amazon, who knows? But and we were all in general consent. I fought it a little bit longer because I was like, yeah, but if you could just push a button, it can make it easy. But even I realized that actually, do you know what, when it comes to uploading information to Amazon, you have to do your due diligence. You have to know as much as possible that information is sound that you're uploading. And the database where we're getting the information from, that database is at best what's been cobbled together, so far for the information on there. But what we were talking about at the start with GS1 is that they know how serious this is. There has to be an official database, and once that is created, which is being created through GS1 at the moment, then we will make the process more automated, because we know that the information is legit, and all the the supermarkets, the brands will automatically plug that information straight into GS1. So hopefully that makes sense. But I just wanted to get everyone's clarification on that. Whilst this is a solution, it is definitely, it will take the headache out of it for you. But please understand that when it comes to actually uploading this information, there is going to be a bit of manual element. So just let us know in the comments if that's all right. Are we good?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Cool. Right. How do I do this now? There we go. Right. I remove myself again. I'll see you in a minute.
See you in a minute. All right. Cool. So what I built was I built two options. So I've built a HFSS calculator, and this is sort of formatted to Amazon, how Amazon like it. There are other calculators, but usually you have to log in, and it's not suitable to Amazon. I'll show you the benefits of using this one soon. And the second option I built, which I'll show, is a bulk uploader. So this is a automated version for people who have their own sort of warehouses and stuff, usually they store their own UPCs or EANs or barcodes as the other term for that. You can upload your EANs, and then it gets all the data for you from the biggest sort of nutritional database, which is open. But yeah, what I'm going to do first is just sort of show you the process. So on the home page, I've got this sort of calculator, and there's a template as well. So one of the issues is actually, it's not issues, but one of the pains is actually bulk uploading it to Amazon. Because the worst thing you want to do is go into each individual listing and then update it like that. Because obviously there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9 different, 10 different data points to enter. So you want to use a bulk uploader. So what I've done is sort of given you a free template. So all you have to do is click here, and then make a copy. And it has some what it's got is some custom scripts as well. So it's going to really help you with your sort of workflow in sending this to Amazon. For those who don't have this sort of workflow, it's going to really help. So what I have here is you have a link here, so you can click this, and it goes you straight to the page where you need to upload to Amazon. Cool. So what you need to do, right, is say you have a product, and what I really recommend is, say you've got Border biscuits. I don't know if anyone has sold this, but unfortunately, I used to sell this a long time ago. One of my best sellers, but then they sort of started selling directly to Amazon retail, which is a pain, but some brands do it. Don't know why, because Amazon always undercut the listings anyway. So yeah. So what you want to do really, I think that's the best way, is you just sort of search it on something like Tesco's or Sainsbury's. They're going to have the most reliable data. Like the databases are fine, but I'd recommend using something like Tesco's or Sainsbury's, because they usually have a nice chart like this. And what you want to do is you want to get the per 100 grams calculation. And what you need to do is go back to the app, and we want to sort of enter the data here. So we've got 474, and then the saturated fat is 12 grams. This is the thing, you got to do this 10,000 times if you've got 10,000 listings. You got to get the sugar, so that's 27.4. You got to get the sodium. Sorry guys, 0.4. Fiber, which does not show. I believe it's a 0. And then on the HFSS, you have 2 options. It's got NSP or AOAC. You'll need to look that up and which one it is, but in most cases, it's NSP. If it's 0 fiber, you just leave it at 0. Then this is fruits and veg as a percentage. So most supermarkets display it per 100 grams, or if they have it, and some don't even display it at all. So this is it's a data point which is kind of hard to get, but sometimes they do. They show some like sort of percentage of fruit, veg, nuts here. But for this case, because it's biscuits, there's unfortunately, I don't think there's any percentage of that. So we put 0. And then after that, we have the protein, so 1.2. Cool. So what that does is got all this data in, and then at the bottom, there's different metrics for food and drink. So if it's over a certain score, so 4 or greater than or equal to 4 on food, then I believe it's unhealthy. And with drink, it's 1. So drink has a less metric. And all you do is press calculate, and this will calculate it, hopefully. And it's going to give you a nice sort of results table like this. And the good thing about this, and what I like about this, and what changes this from other sort of solutions, is you can just press copy results to clipboard, and then we go to our template. You get the SKU you're working on, and we can just copy and paste like that, right? And then it'll all be there. So you can see HFC 8.16, C.0, and it's less healthy. So that's what you got to do for every product. So you have 100 products. This will just significantly help your workflow, right? Because it calculates it and it gives it a nice format. So you can just copy and paste it into here. Yeah, and then after that, all you got to do is you got to enter the SKU, download as TSV. So just go download TSV, click the button, upload it, and that'll enter all the information you need for HFSS. So The manual process, of course, is finding the energy, saturated fat, sugar, sodium, and all that sort of thing. Natalie, is there any questions or like clarification on all that? Something I might have missed or left off, or is that? Shall I move on to the next bit?
I think that's okay at the moment. Hayden's like, I've got no idea what's going on. Okay. So,
right.
Okay, I think what this is anyone else following? Is everyone okay with it so far? Cindy, I'll answer that one about multi-products and bundles in a moment. So I've already written that down. We're going to cover that at the end anyway. So yeah, is everyone else on board, or is it just Hayden?
So sometimes I don't break it down enough. So basically, HFSS is a calculation, right? So energy, the calories per 100 grams it's like a range, right? So it's from like 0 to 100, it's like 1 point. From 100 to 200, it's 2 points. From 300 to 400, it's 3 points, and etc. And every single macronutrient has a range. So say saturated fat is 100 grams out of 100 grams, it would probably be 5 points. So what this calculator does, it tallies it all up and then calculates it all automatically for you. If you actually want to look at the actual calculation, you on Amazon's website, on their sort of documentation, they have a link to where the calculation is. It's a nutritional profile. But basically, this is a good thing about it because it breaks it down, right? All you need to do is find out this sort of energy, so calories per 100 grams, and these sort of common things that stuff like Tesco's and Sainsbury's have. And you don't have to calculate and do this complicated calculation. It just does it for you. So it's just a big time saver. And as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's a solution online that
there isn't.
It's faster than this.
No, definitely not. This is the quickest one, and it is definitely, if you have a VA, as Daniel has pointed out, this is definitely a task for a VA if you have one within your business. But everyone's going to have to do this. So I think what we probably should have done is explain the process first. So that's my fault. That's what I was supposed to do. So the process is, and what you'll have to do on Amazon is you take a listing. You need to find, the listing. Then you need to put that information in. Then you need to make a calculation on that listing, which as Johnny has just shown there. Then once you have a list of that information, then you need to bulk upload that information into Amazon. You can do it individually. Or can you do it individually, or is it via bulk upload?
Is this when you have the manual information? So putting this information in?
Yeah.
So that at the moment is individual. So actually putting this energy, saturated fat, sugar, sodium is individual. And then you can work it out. Oh, no,
sorry. I mean, say, for instance, you just had one listing. Say, for instance, you just had one listing on Amazon and you calculated the score. Can you, I suppose this is what we don't know yet, whether it has to be done via flat file, bulk upload, or whether it can be done individually in the attributes. We don't know that yet, do we?
Absolutely use the bulk uploader because it'll save a hell of time. So if you use this calculator, so for now we've got, this is Border Biscuits, right? So it does a partial update and it's got the cake thing. So this is basically, you upload this and it will put all this data into the Amazon listing. So straight away. So say we now have a product, which is Cadbury Dairy Milk Chocolate gift bar. So if you have a SKU for this, just call it Cadbury A50. What you'll do from here is this is your listing. Let's search on Google for it. So you go Tesco's Cadbury Dairy Milk Block. You'll come here and you'll scroll down, get this data here, right? So we go, let's do this again. So 5, this is definitely be unhealthy, right? Sometimes I guess you can just put unhealthy, but you need to sort of add the other info as well. So saturated fat is 18, and sugar is 56. The sodium is 0.24. The fiber, I guess, is 2.1. Fruit and veg, there's no fruit and veg metric. And then the protein is 7.3. So 7.3. So you do that, calculate, and again, it gets this data here, right? It's everything you put in. We copy results to clipboard, go to the new line, enter here, and then basically there you go. You can then upload 2 of these listings to Amazon, and it's that sort of process, right, where you're going to go through each your listing on Amazon, search from Sainsbury's, search from Tesco's, enter the nutritional profile data into here. This will calculate it, and then you can copy these results into the bulk uploader with your SKU, and then boom, it's all there on Amazon and compliant, body compliant as well. So it's a huge time to it because it's all formatted perfectly for Amazon. Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is a game changer, guys. So just mop up a couple of questions before Johnny goes on to the next one. NFT Dolphin has said you can edit a single listing if you want to, that's fine. Roxana has asked, can we use the information on the packaging? Absolutely. Yeah. You know, if it's on the packaging and that's the product you're selling, you could argue that actually that's probably the best information to use because it's the correct information for sure. Will this apply to supplements? Don't know yet. Amazon have not confirmed that. Cindy, I'll come on and talk about bundles and multi-packs in a moment because that's something that's going to be affected differently. Kay's asked, will we get access to this software? No, we're going to keep it all to ourselves, not share it with anyone. And, you know, we're just going to tease you with what we can do. No, of course. We've made this. Do you know what? To be perfectly honest, this was going to be designed for ESA. To be perfectly honest, it was going to be designed for, you know, the paid master group. But when this affects everybody in the way that it does, I couldn't keep this solution. You know, it had to be made available for everyone. And to be fair, we could charge for this as well. You know, we could stick, you know, £10 a month, you know, monthly reoccurring sub on this or something. And because what it will eventually become will be an automated tool. But again, it's something, you know, we did it. And when we knew the gravity of it, we were like, okay, this is going to affect everyone. So we've got a solution. So let's just share it with everyone. So this is first and foremost going to be completely free. There's not going to be any, you know, whatever to this, or you can upgrade to a more expensive version or anything. This is as you see it and as it's usable will be completely free. So Matthew Wright says you're too nice. I know. So I think that's all the questions for the moment.
When you say free, I'd say if you see me at a conference or something like that, then a beer would be nice. So that's yeah. All I want, you know, a little beer, something like that. That's all I ask for.
That's a good point. There are no less healthy or healthy options with us. Buy us alcohol, we'll be happy. Right, Johnny, I'll let you move on to the next bit.
Cool. So this is what I originally built, and this is like the bulk uploader. And again, I use this with caution, right? It's kind of like, how do I put it? It's the best nutritional database, but it's sort of open, right? So it can be open, it can be edited by people. But what you can do here, so it's from Weld sort of open food facts. So this is the first thing I built, and I realized it's great, but you know, I also need sort of manual calculation to confirm it. So what you can do here is you can download the template. Again, it's a nice little tool. Download it and make a copy like this, and then it'll sort of ask you for your SKU. This is ASIN for some reason. Originally it was a so it's now you've got to put your SKU in, and then put your Ean in, and then what type it is. So it's either food or drink because the score will change. And then from here, just download as CSV. And then what you can do is download the CSV. This instructions on the best, and then we can just upload it here. Press upload. And what it will do is it will give you a file name here. Hopefully you can see this if I open this. It's on a MacBook, so it's going to be weird. Can we see it? No, yeah. 1 second.
Everything works slower on download. So everyone that knows me, watch me do stuff live. I'm like, oh, just wait for it to catch up. So you're way too quick for this, Johnny.
Yeah. So what we'll do, right, is so say this is Heroes chocolate tub, it will basically get the data for you, right? So the energy, saturated fat, the sugar, the sodium, the fiber, the fruits and veggies 0, and the protein. And it will calculate the 21 score, A score of 21, and then the C score of 4, and obviously the HFSS rating is less. healthy. So this is for people who, so if you have a warehouse, or you know how to use Keeper, or you know how to pull the barcodes from your products. So for me, I have a warehouse. So we store all the barcodes, right? So what I can do is bulk upload into here, and it will pass me, giving back all the nutritional information. So for this is for the Cadbury tub. It basically reads from the data here, and it passes back all the information that has available, and then it will calculate automatically for you. So that is the cheap way of doing it, but you're relying on a database that might not be that reliable. The thing is, like, I'm showing this, there's quite a lot of stuff going on in the back end, right? So like, of all the calculations and then all that. So I hope that makes sense. And the reason it asks for a SKU here, and the reason I asked for that is so you can quickly copy and paste this to Amazon. But I would not, again, I think the manual calculation is the safest and the best way of doing it, so you get the most accurate data. This could be something for out of interest if you want, actually. If you just want to put a bunch of barcodes in and just sort of see what's healthy, less healthy, it could be a nice little educational process so you can get the feel of it. But that's the bulk uploader. Again, just use with caution. It's not 100% solution. It's a little cheat if you're feeling sort of dangerous, I guess. So that's it. So there's a bulk uploader, and then the calculator. Strongly recommend use the calculator. It's I think it's a lot cleaner and more accurate. Eventually, maybe I'll build also a bulk input of this at some point. But when you guys start using the tool, you have to give me some feedback and let me know how it goes. And hopefully it saves a bunch of time. Yeah, that's the two things I built. Again, also, if anyone has ideas of how to improve this workflow or like speed it up, then I would also be interested, because that's basically, I like to think that's sort of my expertise in sort of speeding up mundane tasks, because I hate doing mundane tasks. I rather sort of build the software so you don't have to do the mundane tasks. So that's sort of my methodology, is systemize and build stuff instead of just doing it. So yeah, that's a demonstration. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Johnny. I think everyone, if they didn't know already why we wanted to work with Johnny so much and why we were so keen, to get him aboard on the team, and it really is coming down to that brain where you just don't like not having a solution for something. And there are still areas on this that we need to work out, but it's a work in progress. I mean, obviously you guys will appreciate it is a free tool at the end of the day, so it's not going to have stuff but built into it that has any different type of calculations. It is what it's going to do. It's going to have that function just purely to upload that information to Amazon. So quick question, I know that there have been lots of questions. So quick question quickly was about the Ean codes. Did we find a solution for the Ean codes, or was it still the Keeper option?
Yeah, so Keeper is the best way of using Keeper's product viewer. You can sort of bulk inputs the ASINs, and it returns the barcodes. But then again, that's barcodes that have been sort of user inputted. So that barcode might be wrong. It could also be people who've created the barcode on GS1, right? So it could be sort of made up things. So how reliable that data is really hard. So unless really you have your own warehouse and you've actually put in those UPCs yourself, it's not going to be 100% reliable. So that's why I'm like, it's really only if people have a warehouse, right? And they have been putting in the barcodes.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things. This is going to be something that's going to evolve over time as well. I know someone commented a bit earlier on about maybe a couple of different videos just showing the process outside of this chat, which is what we tend to do. So that's what we'll create, if it's all right, Johnny. Just a couple of simple videos that we can upload to YouTube and put in the group of how just the process is, not us talking around it and everything like that. Process start to finish. And then maybe you could add how people could find the Ean codes on Keeper as well. Just that side of it, if that's what people need. The open source thing, guys, like I said, it's okay. It's okay. And we've tested it, but what it also does is it in a lot of cases, it doesn't, not only is we cannot confirm whether the data is accurate, it misses data as well, doesn't it? There's missing fields.
Yeah, so sometimes it miss fields. So for some reason, it would miss the fiber sometimes. For some reason, people don't like putting the fiber in. They don't care. They just put the main sort of nutritional data in. But I mean, I looked around and it was the most accurate available API I could find. And, you know, I tried out MyFitnessPal and a few other things, and it just wasn't yielding the same results. So open food data is usually the best, but it's done by the people. So it's not audited, right? So that's what GS want to. So what GS want to bring on, and if they do bring out some sort of database API or anything like that that is accurate, then I will build that solution out as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Matthew put he's a coding master. I've got to share this story really quick. When we were talking about this and we were like, well, yeah, but what if it did this? What if it did that? I have never seen anyone, literally, Johnny, you were like, you flipped your screen and I saw these numbers and everything come up. And I was like, Johnny, are you coding while we're talking about this? I've never seen anyone do it. We were like, let's put this bit in instead. And Johnny was like straight on it. Like, I was like, I've never seen anyone doing that, like, you know, forever. So I said I was going to share that story and I did. Right. Couple of questions. So where can we get it? Right, so I'm going to put the link here. So this is the link to our website. And then what we do, because it is Amazon data and everything like that, it is behind a sign-in. But once you've got it, you've got it. So you just need to pop your email address in, and then you will have access to the tool. So I'll put it there. It's completely free. Like I said, there is absolutely no cost to this whatsoever. It's not going to develop into anything more than what this is. It's just a solution for this specific, you know, problem on Amazon. So you guys just go ahead. Yeah, server overload. I think someone said, oh, 39 and counting for the beers, but we've got that again on YouTube that are watching as well. So Johnny's going to get pretty drunk first time, you know, first meeting we have. So that will be the link that anyone needs to share, that if you want access to this particular tool, which is on the website. Right, let's go back and answer a few of the different questions. And like I said, I know Johnny, this is something that he will like, even though it's free and everything like that, you won't rest until it is perfect, or, well, as perfect as it can be. So if anyone does have any questions, you know, feedback, you're open to everything like that. You want this to be the best possible solution it can be, right?
Yeah, and I'm greedy as well. I like to know how I can improve my processes and improve my software and get better. So I'm really open to feedback. Be as critical as you can, and you know, I'll improve it as much as I can, because again, it's a solution for everyone. I'm not sure. We're not sure yet, right? If you upload it to your own account, it applies to other accounts. Is it a global thing? I'm not too sure yet. Yeah. If you know what I mean, we're not too sure yet.
Okay, so let's clarify a few things. Thank you, Matthew Wright has said, like literally everyone's deciding to message me right now. As Matthew Wright said, actually, what you need to do, I said you just need to put your email address in. No, you need to create an account to get access, and then the tool will be part of your account. Sorry, apologies for that. That's what you need to do on the website in order to do it. So just go ahead and click that link and do that. Firstly, so again, we're pretty sure on this. There are things that may change as information comes to light, as more of you use it, more of you give feedback to Johnny. It's really the only way that you can do this now, because when you're creating something like this, it works for you and your business, but someone else might have a different issue or something like that. So the only way is to put it out there to get the feedback and test that it's working for everyone, obviously. So please bear with us if there's any kinks or glitches or whatever, but you know, we have been testing it, so we think it's you know, a completely viable solution. So we're all general consensus. This question came up earlier. What if you've not created the listing? Well, we think that this is an attribute because it's done through passport update on a bulk uploader, we think that this information will be accepted whether you created the listing or not. But what it also did was it sort of posed the question, which I posed to Johnny, which something we might be able to do at a later stage. Him creating this software might actually create a different type of solution for search suppressed products that have missing attributes at a later stage. But we're not going to go down that rabbit hole at the moment. So we said we might have accidentally created something that could fix another problem on Amazon, but we just concentrate on this one, you know, one step at a time. So yes, this should work on all listings, even if you've created them or not. Unless you think
I've tested it, and I've tested it, and it updates all the metrics that I've tried it on listings that weren't created by me. So far, all the tests have been working for me. Yeah,
cool. Cindy's question about bundles. So it's funny, all the unique bundlers and bundlers all ask the questions, you know, about the bundles, and I've had quite a few questions about that this morning via Messenger of people knowing that we were going to do this. So how it stands at the moment is a couple of things. If you have a bundle, unique bundle, whatever it is, you need to apply this score even if you have one product that could be deemed unhealthy. So you could be selling a bag of apples with a Mars bar, right? But that whole bundle now will be classed as less healthy because you've got that one item in it, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's 90% healthy and 10% less healthy. It will be deemed as less healthy. It's based on the least healthiest product, okay? So if you have an item, if you have a beauty bundle technically that's got a Mars bar in it, it could affect that in some way, but that we don't know until we see it on the Amazon page. We don't know how that's going to affect, so we'll keep that updated as we go. How do you determine, then the next question is, how do you determine a score for a bundle of multiple less healthy items? Well, Johnny, I'll let you cover that one. That's I think that was we said it's like the least healthiest, right?
Yeah. So it's what you deem as it's what is the worst score is the overall score. Unfortunately, like you said, with the apples and the Mars bar. So even if you have 1 million apples and one Mars bar in your bundle, it's still less healthy. Like it doesn't sort of even out. If you have one little chocolate bar and the rest is healthy, it's still going to be less healthy. So it's annoying. So you just got to make sure everything in your bundle. So one thing to watch out for is with grocery, I guess, is products with high salt. That's where you're going to get caught out. Technically, I guess people will be cheeky and just say it's healthy, but you know, you might have a bundle with what you think might be healthy, and then one item might have too much salt, and then there you go, it's suppressed. So
yeah, that's again, we're not going to know until we see it. But say, for instance, you've got and how you determine the score, like we said. So you've got 3 packs of biscuits. Then what score you upload to Amazon will be the one with the worst score. Okay, so you unfortunately are going to need to work out those 3 items and then put the information in with the one with the worst score. It's like, you know, blooming countdown or something like that. That's what it's going to be, unfortunately. So it's not the end of bundles or anything like that. You just, you know, and actually, believe it or not, that is more simple than having to work out an average or anything like that. It's just taking the worst one and going with that. For once, I think, you know, that's the easier option, to be perfectly honest. So that's what we're going to do with bundles. Then let me just go back through. I've lost my train of thought on, so I don't know who asked this. Apology. Will the barcode system change to reference the GS1 database in the future, which would be a reliable source of information? Question mark.
That's this question. Just one. Will the barcode system change to reference? Yeah. It depends how much they charge. I bet they're going to put some sort of price point to that, aren't they? So, you know, if it's a ridiculous amount, because sometimes these companies might charge like, you know, $750, $800 per month. Like if it's someone like GS1, they're going to because it's going to be for the big supermarkets, right? They're going to charge a lot. So I mean, you know, potentially not. I'd say probably not. We probably wouldn't go for that, because I just wouldn't want to make this sort of a paid subscription. Really, it's not really what I have in. It's more of I want to help people out with this. It's not where if I was going to go the paid route, I wouldn't want to do this sort of thing. It's a community thing that helps everyone, right? So
for sure.
If it's priced reasonably and not ridiculous, then of course I'll switch over to the GS1 database, which
we'll look at it. We'll look at it at the time. We're open to anything, sure. And it may well be, whilst I said that this would never turn into a paid tool, if people want to like crowdfund some stuff or something like that, then obviously, we can look at that at the time, sure. But it's like keeper data. It's ridiculously expensive. People don't realize it's, when Buybot Pro pay for the information to go in from Keeper, it's like they charge a lot of money for that. It's not, £10 a month or anything like that. So data is king, and data is very expensive. So we'll look at it at the time, obviously. Andre says he has looked at the open source, checking some products, and they look pretty accurate. So by all means, guys, if you want to use the bulk uploader, do it. But we're just saying, just bear in mind, some of that information could be inaccurate or incorrect. What you could do is you can use the bulk uploader option, and then you can cross-reference and check it. And if it's right, fine. I mean, you've got that option, haven't you?
Yeah. It's definitely an option as well.
Yeah. So you guys see this as use it as you see fit. We've built both options. Johnny has built both options, and it's going to be down to your own preference in what you use, but we had to make it clear. We found a flaw within the system, and we had to make it clear that some of the information might not be up to date, or some of the information might be incomplete. So just bear that in mind. And we will create some separate little videos showing you how to do this. This is like an ESA session, in the sense everyone goes to me, I'm going to have to watch the replay, I'm going to have to do this, but we'll create specific videos, and actually we can just upload them into the product in the website, so people can, when they're using the tool, we'll put the videos there as well. So that'll be nice and easy. There were so many comments that came in at one point, so if there is a specific question that I've missed, let me know, because like always, all the comments came in at once. Stephen's asked, actually, could this tool grow into ASIN uploader? We would populate this with the usual info, calculate this if required, and then upload straight to Amazon, Seller Central right from here. I know that will need APIs and all sorts.
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities, if you start playing with APIs like Amazon's and stuff, the problem with Amazon's is it's unique. You'd have to enter in your Amazon, you'd have to authorize the app, right? So, I mean, there's potential. There's list your ideas, and I'll see what there is. But it's obviously, there's always a way, I'd say, with software. I think that you can always crack any code. As long as you can sort of do it on Google Sheets, I always say you can always develop it and automate it. So, and that's the plan really going forward, right? Is to keep building more tools and really help the community. And it's really what I sort of brought it in for, with my sort of background in software, and obviously being an Amazon seller as well. We want to keep creating tools and keep helping everyone out. So, if you sort of like broke that down like into like a so Amazon populator, populator. If you actually broke that down with information, ping me a message and I'll have a look and see what we can do, because I'm always happy for ideas and adding stuff and building stuff in the future.
I'll tell you the great thing about working with you, Johnny, and I can tell you're doing it already. When a question's posed to you like that about, what if we do this? And again, you've probably realized working with me, I'm that person that I don't know the technical solution or anything like that, but I'm very much like, what if we did this? What if we did that? Is that, kind of thing. And I can tell where Johnny's brain is already trying to work out a solution. So as I was asking that question, Stephen, Johnny, I know that was going through your head, and you were thinking, maybe, you know, because you love finding solutions to things, you love fixing problems. And absolutely, this is why we knew that by Johnny coming and being a partner in this, fixing solutions, and that's what I've always been about. That's what Matthew Wright is about. That is absolutely what we want to do, and this will literally be something that we will do as often as much as we can, you know, for the community. Like I said, we're going to release that. Not everything's going to be free. You know, I'll make that absolutely clear. We've got some big plans for things in the future, and I don't want to be in that position where people said, well, hang on a sec, you said you were going to fix all these problems and give us solutions for free. Unfortunately, there are things that we want to do that are not going to be free. It's as simple as that will change people's businesses, you know, massively. So I make that clear from the start as well. So, but wherever we can, we will, you know, give the solution to everybody, because, you know, Amazon's hard enough, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, as most people know, I obviously have a group on Facebook as well. And I have, you know, given snippets of information, but I've also helped back a lot. And I'm now willing to sort of help more, especially on product on solutions like this, where it helps everyone. So, you know, now I have sort of other people to help me in a bit more time. I'm now sort of here to sort of help, and I don't think people really understand like the extent that you can really use software and tools to really improve your business. And I think as being entrepreneurs, Natalie, and then at the end of the day, it's just like problem solving, right? It's just looking at all these different things, and it's solving little problems or big problems, and it's just a constant stream of problems, really, and fixing them for everyone like you on your team, right? And that's certainly the case in my business, my Amazon business, where it's just I'm more the sort of problem solver role. I'm like the technician now, where they come to me and say, "What's going on here?" And I'll be like, "Okay, come on," and I'll do a Loom video or create something, and you know, it's probably worth mentioning as well that, you know, I have a software team. This app was done by myself, but I do have a development team as well who are much better at coding than me. So, you know, this was something that I wanted to do as a sort of a hobby project, and I thought I'd share it. So I'm not the best coder in the world. I'm pretty good with ideas, and I'm pretty good. I'm okay at it. But if anything else comes out in the future, I assure you that it's going to be done by even better people than better coders than myself, and me sort of managing at the top, which is the way I sort of like to work at it usually. But you know, it's a fun hobby. If anyone who codes or programs, I highly recommend it. I saw a podcast the other day of Mark Zuckerberg on Joe Rogan. He's got his sort of like 6-year-old and 8-year-old kids learning coding, and they call it like art as kids. So it's not advertisement to learn how to program, but I know Matt, your husband's really is looking to learn it as well. So
yeah, absolutely. I think it was a meeting of the minds, and that's the thing. I want to be the solution giver. And anyone that knows us and through ESA. And by the way, who thinks Johnny was being a little bit modest there? I think he was, but in ESA, you know, I know what the solution is, but I don't have the ability to fix it through a technical solution. Absolutely. I'm never going to be able to claim I know what the fix is probably needed, but putting that into code and that, I just can't do that whatsoever. And, you know, we solve a lot of problems in ESA as well, you know, with listings and things like that. Nothing that's ever really needed, you know, a software solution or anything like that. But now that we have that ability to be able to provide that moving forward, for us, it's just phenomenal. Because me and Matt in particular, my husband Matt, and anyone that works with us in ESA, we don't like being beaten by the Amazon system. If there's a problem, we will try our best to, you know, find that solution for it and provide it. So, you know, for us, this is just phenomenal. So again, if I've missed any specific questions moving forward, Hayden's just said, you know, simple solution, you know, just move some of the unhealthy items out. Yes and no. It is an easy fix. Switch them for something else, definitely, but switch them for something else, obviously, that does fall within the healthy category. It's not just a case of looking at something like a Mars bar versus a protein bar, like a Kind bar. Again, we were talking about this and thinking, well, that's a protein bar, so that's healthy. It's not. It's what the calculation says it is. So that kind bar might have too much salt in it, which means it pushes it into the unhealthy category anyway. So that's why you've got to use your due diligence on this, guys. And you've got to work it out, because when you swap something out of a bundle, it takes a lot of time and effort with new photography and changing the listing and doing this. And you don't want to find yourself in a position that you've just swapped it out for something that's going to leave it in that unhealthy category anyway. Also, following up from Hayden's question on that, we really don't know. They haven't made any type of announcement on the paid advertising yet. The only thing I think possibly might have done a little bit of a reprieve is when they recently announced that they're going to delay some of it due to the cost of living crisis. So it might fall under that. So paid advertising might be okay moving forward. We just don't know until the 1st of October. But if you think about it, past October next year, definitely, you know, the things that you're used to seeing on the Amazon page, this leads us nicely to talking about long-term impacts of what it's going to be. You're going to see everything change. It's going to appear as a categorization on the listing page, but things like frequently bought together, customer also purchased, sponsored products related to, brand advertising, placement on someone's grocery bundle, that's all going. That's all going. You're not going to be able to do that or look at that information moving forward. You'll always be able to find it through Keeper and things like that. It's just what has been an easy look. And this links back to what Andy said earlier. What's going to happen with a lot of this stuff, especially if you're brand building, creating your own opportunities, it's going to get harder. But it's not going to disappear. It just means you've got to know where to look for that stuff and put in the effort. And if you do, it's going to get rid of the people that don't want to put the effort in. That's certainly the way I see it. I see it as an opportunity for sure.
I think it's worth adding. There's a few people saying that, what do you think Amazon going to do about it? And how's Amazon going to do about promoting? And it's not actually in Amazon's hands, really, is it? It's the law, and it's. I'm sure they will go by whatever is in the law, and they will twist it as much as they can to make it as to keep the sort of volume up as much as possible. But at the end of the day, they don't have control, do they? It depends on what the government do. If the government decide to delay it by a year or delay the promotional, that's on the government, not Amazon. So Amazon just have to oblige to whatever they've been told, or they probably get another lawsuit, right? But they can't. They're in enough trouble. But yeah, I think. It's 20% is maybe minimal. I'd say more than 20%. So Hayden said could impact 20% of sales on specific products or so. I would say it's a lot more, unless it's something like a name brand. I'd say, so, to give my input, the chocolate brand I work with, they're a big seller on Amazon. But if I read out the name now, I don't think people would know what it is. So I think a lot of their sales are through people searching generally for it. So, chocolate box or gift box or Christmas gifts. And that's how they get their sales, or the add-on promotions, or seeing it because the packaging is really cool and all that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But if people aren't searching for that specific brand, I'm pretty sure that sales is just going to dwindle, right?
So let's expand on that a little bit more. So for people who are purely in the arbitrage world, reselling of other people's products, you've probably not come across this, what we've just talking about now. Like I said, there's two types of searching on Amazon. Well, there's probably three different types actually, but I won't bamboozle everyone. There's two different types of searching on Amazon. You've got brand-driven search and you've got customer-driven search. So when people are looking at products on a brand-driven basis, it means they're driven by the brand. So they're looking for a brand specifically. So if I've created a chocolate brand and called it Natalie's Chocolate Drops or something like that, and I want to go up against Cadbury's Buttons, well, naturally, Cadbury's Buttons are going to win. Cadbury's is a company that has been going for 150 years or whatever it is. They have spent billions on marketing. They are worldwide known, all of these different types of things. But technically, before this, I could go toe-to-toe with them in terms of paid advertising, promotion, knowing the Amazon algorithm, how I can get people to head towards my listing. I could on Amazon technically go toe to toe with Cadbury's. But with these new kind of changes moving forward, we don't know how much leeway Amazon's going to show up our products that are not specifically searched for. So what I mean by that, say for instance, you've got Cadbury's buttons and you've got Natalie's chocolate buttons, right? What I could do before is I could advertise on Cadbury's buttons, and I could send traffic to my listing, but I would also target generalistic search terms like Johnny's just said, Christmas chocolates. Well, if my product's relevant to that, I could target that as well. If my product's relevant to Cadbury's buttons, I could do that. If my product's relevant to gifts for men, I could target it to that. How much am I going to be able to do that moving forward? Or is it just purely, am I only going to show up now for Natalie's chocolate buttons? For as listings stand at the moment. Now, if that is the case, like Johnny's chocolate brand, if their listings are not optimized correctly and they've been relying on paid promotion, then they're going to have a problem. How this is going to impact moving forward is you're going to have to know, if you're creating any new listings in this field, you're going to have to know what people are searching for, and you're going to have to make sure that that is highlighted fairly and reasonably and relevantly in your listing. Now, we're not going to talk about that too much today, and it is something we will cover in the future. But, because again, we still don't know at what extent Amazon is going to do that. So, that's a conversation for a completely different day. But don't be under the illusion, guys. This is going to be far reaching, and it's going to have more consequences and impact than when we first realized after diving into it so much.
Yeah, I can't actually believe how it's going to impact on the outside of Amazon, and actually in sort of retail and bricks and mortar store. I think that's almost the biggest effect, actually, and the biggest change. Because you're saying to me, you notice while going around the supermarket that all the alcohol is basically at the front on display now, right? Is that what you?
Yes. Yeah, we had this conversation, didn't we? Yeah, it's amazing when you look at it like this.
Yeah. So like, what you can do now is display alcohol at the front of the stores, and you can still advertise alcohol and beer because that's not deemed as less healthy. So that's still compliant. So stuff like chocolate and stuff is going to go at the back, like cigarettes sort of thing, isn't it? So that's what's really interesting to me, is how they're just replacing it. And that's what, I've spoken to sort of co-op and stuff, and that's what they're sort of, being very blasé about. It's like, it's fine. We're just going to replace chocolate with beer. It's all good. And that's sort of the attitude everyone's saying from like the big supermarkets.
Yeah. And that's the thing. This is crazy when you think about it like that, because there's loopholes. There's already going to be any law that's created. There's always loopholes, and the guys have found it already in alcohol. And absolutely, sugar, chocolate, everything is just as dangerous, if not more so dangerous than alcohol. I don't want to get into any debates as that, but they've left the door open for alcohol to replace it. So, it's like, okay, where's the fairness here? And everyone's going to have to change their whole lives, all these small independent retailers. But like Johnny said, your Asda's, your Tesco's, your Waitroses, they're all going to be all right. But I was reading a blog earlier, and it was awful about an independent one-shop bakery. How is that's on the high street? This is going to wipe them out.
Can they not display it in the front window anymore?
I don't know. Will they be able to display the goods? And who knows? This is what I mean. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think, the HFSS police are going to be walking past and doing things like that. But, maybe they've just recently increased their revenues by going on Deliveroo. Okay, yeah, so now that they can't maybe do that, they can do it, but people would
have
Deliveroo
advertise it?
Yeah, well, it's in the Deliveroo, yeah, it's promotion, isn't it? I suppose.
But are they allowed though?
But that's what I mean. They'll have to change, presumably.
So they won't.
Like if you go into like Deliveroo, and believe me, I do quite often. If you go into Deliveroo, then if you get up Subway, well, it's got like a bottle of Coke or something like that. So this is going to have huge impacts, definitely. So. But a lot of it we're not going to know until we're in it. So I keep clarifying that. we have taken 2 and we've added 2, and hopefully we've come up with 4, but you never know. We might have come up with 3 or we might have come up with 5. We don't know until it all comes out come the 1st of October. But what you can be, assured of is we will let you know as we find out. So it's going to be something, yeah. And the more people using the tool and things like that, then, we'll find out more related to that. But it's going to have massive impact. So I just want everyone to know that.
Yeah. What else? I was going to say, what else I sort of find interesting is I have a Shopify food store. I can no longer display unhealthy stuff in the web banners, right? So on the front page web banner, I can no longer put my sort of sweet cereals and stuff like that anymore. So I can't display stuff like that on the front page. So for stuff like confectionery retailers, how do they understand how they're going to sort of display their website to be actual legally compliant? Would they have some sort of like front page saying, click here to go to this? I'm not sure how that works. And I think the other thing before we move on is obviously everyone knows about Nando's, but they're going to have to get rid of all their sort of unlimited drinks as well. So those machines are going, and I guess they're just going to, so I think that I imagine they're just going to replace it with like healthy alternatives in the unlimited drinks. I guess that's the way of doing it, right? Maybe they put like a water and I don't know.
Diet drinks, I would have thought, which if you look into any type of, food healthy, and believe me, guys, I am not one to be banging on about being healthy or things like that. But there is actually arguments out there that actually the stuff that contains the artificial sweeteners is just as bad, if not worse in the long term, for health and things like that. So, I mean, this is just going to open up a massive can of worms and things like that. God, I'm gutted about the refillable drinks. I love that. I'm the person that, say, oh, can I have a water, please? No, I'm not that person. I'm joking.
It's not controversial, but off topic. But I think Nando's overcooked their chicken. I don't think they salt brine it well enough. I just don't think they know how to cook chicken very well. So, I like going to Nando's for the refillable drinks and that sort of thing as well. Diet Coke is worse. Oh, we've got a sweetener. The sweetener police.
Absolutely. No, but that's what I said. I think over long term, the artificial sweeteners definitely for sure. I don't know if we're going to be all right after you've just said Nando's overcooks the chicken. That's like the worst thing you can say. Nando's is my favorite. I love it. But then I know your other big passion. You've got 2 big passions: is coding and cooking meat, isn't it? You love your barbecuing, and you really go into that, don't you?
Yeah, when I'm back in England, I do like to do like a nice brisket or sort of pulled pork on the weekend. It's don't know what it is, but just sort of it makes a Sunday much better. But by having a big brisket on a Weber and slow cooking it and smoking that. So I know you've tried a few slow cooking kebabs, right? And it's not gone so. Yeah.
Well, I tried to be that person. Johnny sent me a message. He was like, look at this, look at this video and how they do this. And I genuinely tried to make like a healthy home cooked kebab. And he was like, yeah, this is really cool, kind of thing. And I was like, oh my God, Johnny, I made that about 6 months ago and it collapsed. It was a disaster. So I didn't try again. And I was like, just got into my local kebab house and ordered one. So yeah. Johnny's determined to get me cooking better for sure. Right. Software release party at Johnny's. Definitely. You guys can bring the beer. Johnny will bring the software and the meat.
I mean, again, it's kind of technical, but the way I like cooking is all like scientific in a way, and it's like a little bit nerdy. But if I go into someone who's cooking meat and they're not using a thermometer, I'm like, "What are you doing? How do you know when it's done?"
Oh, right? We do at barbecues. We've got a thermometer. We do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, for sure.
If you go to a barbecue and I don't have a thermometer, I'll be like, I'm not eating here. How do you know it's done? Or is that, how do you know it's not overcooked? So always have a thermometer handy. It's the best way to cook meat. But yeah, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to my meat. Yeah.
Well, we will have a never mind the buy box cooking meat special at some point, I'm sure. I don't know if Matt's still watching. I can post it again anyway. I'm just going to post the link there. Whilst I've got you here, guys, obviously you know that this is not about any type of upsell or anything like that whatsoever. But log into that log into that link, create an account on e-commerce Inner Circle, and then you'll get access to the tool. But while you're there, and for anyone that doesn't know, we are actually going to be running Matthew Wright's RA Retail Arbitrage Masterclass again, which was phenomenally successful a few months ago. We're going to be running that again on September the 7th. So if you have not signed up to that already, that is a paid masterclass or in a group call live training setting. If you've not signed up to that already and you wish to do so, that's actually on the same page, so you can do it there. That's the checkout for that option as well. It's £79 for a 2-hour live masterclass where Matt's going to go through all of his secret. This year he spent £500,000 on stock to sell retail arbitrage, and he's going to be going mental with it over Q4. So please make sure that you join that if you want to look at that way of sourcing this Q4. I think it's a phenomenal masterclass. And by the way, also as well, if you paid for it last time, you can still join us for this session as well. So we're extending the invite to anyone that also purchased it first time round. So you don't need to repurchase it. You're automatically going to get an invite if you click on, and if you have ticked the button to allow us to send you an email, because if you haven't, then you're not going to know about it. So this is what we will say. Please make sure you opt in to the marketing. It's not so we can market to you. Well, it is as well, but it's so we can let you know about updates, and so we can send you replays and invoices and all this different type of thing. So Matthew's put RA is life. So yeah, this is not what this session is about, but hopefully you'll indulge me and you will allow me a quick plug for that. That is going to be on the 7th. Oh, so it's like a week tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, it's a week tomorrow. So yeah, you can join us there if you want to, which I would highly recommend. And there was fantastic feedback from the first one.
He's the RA king, really, isn't he? He's
yeah.
like his methodology behind retail arbitrage is it makes me want to get back into it because it's more structured and actually makes sense rather than you see all these YouTube videos on retail arbitrage and it's all a bit random, really. But I really like his methodology because it just yields higher results, and obviously if you're spending $500,000, then it works. So
absolutely. And I think that's the thing as well. It's, we've talked about this before. And, even with something like this, you have to adapt, you have to evolve. There may not be as many opportunities over the next 6 months. You might, from an OA point of view, you have to expand, or you may want to expand your sourcing horizons. And RA is a nice way to be able to do it. And it's one of those things, you couldn't create like a whole course on it, but you can listen to someone that's been doing it for years and has created, multiple millions in revenue and profit in terms of, having it as a big factor. It's not the whole of his business, but it certainly is a big factor relating to it. So please join us. I really don't think we will run this again this year, this particular masterclass. So if you want it and to be able to utilize it during Q4, then please make sure you join us next week. We'd love to have you there. Hayden says never used a thermometer. Don't go to a barbecue around Hayden's. Just gonna finish up some of this. Andre said in terms of policing or policying, this is to that extent, it looks like turning into a big fiasco. Some will push it to the maximum, while blanket bans in place like Amazon will affect us disproportionately. That's absolutely right. And I think it's fair comment, Andre, because what's going to happen, and we talked about this before, is Amazon's not going to differentiate between me or Johnny or you or Hayden or anyone like that. It's just going to have a blanket across the thing. But the only saving grace is this affects such a big part of the Amazon catalog. I think they will look into it a little bit deeper than, you know, some of the blanket bans previously. I hope they will, because, you know, we're already under the impression that listings are not going to be removed, which was my biggest concern.
Yeah, definitely not getting removed, are they? Just yeah, whatever the punishment is for being less healthy, right? But
Yeah.
we'll find more information soon, hopefully. I'm hoping they kind of release something, you know, before October the 1st to actually give a bit more clarification. Knowing Amazon, you know, you don't know really, but let's hope.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Rachel said absolutely more sugar and calories in some alcoholic drinks than chocolate for sure. Hayden says, glad I'm not a big brand right now. This has come at a good time for me to know how to pivot moving forward. And that's exactly what it's about. We got you guys. Don't worry about it. We'll do what we can to provide as many solutions as we can moving forward. Hayden, again, has just said we can target searches. Seems like we would just be ace in target. You'll be able to target searches, absolutely. But whether you will be able to target an ASIN if it's deemed as less out, I don't know on that one. I think maybe, I don't know. Like I said, those real finite details, I will look into past the 1st of October or until Amazon delivers us that information beforehand. But so is everyone signed up, guys? Does anyone want the link once again? We'll do some videos. I'm not sure when that will be. Johnny, where do you want feedback? Do you want it in the group, Facebook group? Is that with a tag to you? Is that the easiest?
Yeah, I think rather than sort of messaging me privately, just post on the group and tag me. That way everyone can see and give their input. That way other people can also help, because obviously Natalie and Matt, both Matts know a bit about the tool as well, and they could probably help and maybe potentially give a solution as well. So definitely post in the ecom group as well.
Just to clarify, please don't ask me any software questions. You won't get any type of decent answer. And I'm a people pleaser, so I will try and help and it'll be wrong. So yeah, don't ask me any questions on that. But please, guys, please respect Johnny's time as well. So yes, no private messages on this. I really don't want Johnny to be put off and, you know, die the death of, you know, 1,000 inbox messages. So you know, when you do things like this, your inbox just explodes. So please respect that. Pop it in the group. That's what it's there for. Johnny doesn't mind a tag. None of us mind a tag, obviously, but just, you know, respect people's time. That's the only thing we ask. Guys, whilst I've got you here again as well, like I said, we've not asked, you know, for anything for this, and we're not going to. But if you are someone that hasn't already subscribed to the Nevermind the Buy Box YouTube channel, please make sure you do. That's like a nice way to kind of repay us. Put some nice comments on there. If you could go on and comment on the video once it's finished, as opposed to like a comment on it doesn't show up. You know, when you see a video and someone's commented afterwards, if it has been helpful for you, we're not after any fake comments or fake reviews or anything like that, only if it's helpful for you. And again, you know, in the Facebook group as well, if it's helpful, let us know. And any feedback, we're always super, super interested. Oh, and give the video a thumbs up as well. Like the worst YouTuber ever, like literally. I'm gonna have to get better than that, you know. Subscribe and do this.
You've got to make it very short form.
I know. I think that's impossible for me.
You're suited to long form content, I think, and you gotta summarize it down and say like and subscribe, goodbye, that sort of thing, right?
Oh my god, I could never do that. I would literally have. You can do that. You'll be the one to do that then, Johnny. I'd have like nightmares about that. I'd go to sleep thinking, oh my god, everyone thought I was rude because I didn't over explain it in 10 different ways. So
yeah.
Smash that like button. I just couldn't say. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it for sure. Right. Link. Okay, let me just post it one more time. But we'll post it in the group afterwards anyway as well. So if you don't panic if you haven't got it on here, but give us feedback, guys. We need to know with a few people using this, and share it as well if you think it's genuinely going to help other people. But if it is in someone else's group, please respect someone else's group and ask permission, because obviously, you know, it is going to be linked to us. So, you know, just check it's okay to do so. Hopefully whoever owns the group won't mind, but you never know. Right, smash that like button and off you go. No, I'm only joking.
Got it.
Yeah, there we go. Right, hang up. Right, next week we will be back. Johnny, thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you part of the team. The innovations, and you know, this is something that we created in a couple of weeks, guys. And like I said, there is a bigger plan. There is things that we are working on that are going to facilitate business in a way that I don't think has been done so before. So I'm really excited about everything that we're going to be working towards as part of the Ecom Inner Circle team. Johnny does have his own group. So if you haven't joined that already, but I think at some point we will probably merge them or do something, because we are a collective team now, essentially. But obviously,
Absolutely.
yeah, we'll keep that updating as we have. So thank you so much, Johnny, for providing the solution. We're really, really grateful. But yeah, this is just the beginning, guys. There's going to be lots more exciting things to come in the future. And then finally, we'll be back 1 o'clock next week. It'll be me and Matt back, and it will be, wow, literally the kids will be back by this time next week. So that is when the serious hard work for Q4 is going to start. So we'll probably have some sort of Q4 chat next week, something like that. I'm going to try and bring on a guest once a month, a different guest as well, to get different perspective for other people's businesses as well. But what I will do, I'm not going to do it next week, but I'm probably going to do it the week after. I'm going to do another Nevermind the Buy Box special, but I'm going to do a bundle special. Not as in I'm going to teach you all how to bundle. What I'm going to do is, you know, we know that there could be potentially, Johnny, it's an issue you faced over the last couple of weeks. We know that there could be some issues around IP and everything moving forward relating to people creating their own opportunities and that type of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a session, and I'm going to do it as a Nevermind the Buy Box session. And I am going to show everyone the difference between what is right, what is wrong, what is morally right, what is morally wrong, what is Amazon terms of service, what isn't Amazon terms of service, and what is also a unique bundle versus what someone's doing. Because I feel unique bundles are getting a little bit of bad press, you know, with what some of these people are doing, and they're getting tarred with, you know,
with the wooden spoon.
Yeah, with the wrong brush. So what I want to do is just go through and differentiate, but most importantly, nothing to do with the unique bundle side of it from that point of view, but it's mainly to do with what people think is against terms of service. And I think, guys, you're going to be really surprised at now what we know about what is against Amazon terms of service and what isn't. I don't want people getting frustrated over Q4 thinking that life's unfair and Amazon's, you know, should be doing more about it. I'm going to go through and I'm going to clarify that in a couple of weeks, because I tell you what, I think people are going to be surprised with what is okay and what isn't okay on Amazon. So I'm going to do that.
Don't share too much. I've had bad experiences with. Yeah.
I won't. I'm not going to be doing any. I'm not going to be talking about any sellers, any stores, or anything like that. I'm just going to go through and just say what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable. And I'm certainly not going to show anyone how to do it, because no matter your intention, I teach everything in the light. I tell people, I say, don't do it like this, do it like this. This is the right way. It's the, you know, the moral way. People always take your information and they can use it for whatever, you know. It's like I always say, it's being taught by, not that I'm comparing myself to this, and I'm quite proud of this analogy because I got a Star Wars analogy right. It's like when Darth Vader got taught by Ewan McGregor to be in the light, but he ended up going to the dark side, you know? That was
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, yeah, him. You know, I think that was right. And
Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker.
Then he turned into Darth Vader.
Yeah. No, Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin.
Yeah,
Anakin. Sorry,
Anakin
my bad.
Skywalker. So you can't help what people do. Oh my God. I think people are laughing at my Star Wars analogy. You can't, no matter what, you just can't force people what to do with the information. So that's what I want to run through. And just so you guys don't get frustrated over Q4 for sure. Here we go. Oh, I think just Rachel was just answering a question. Yeah, I did clarify that, Rachel, but thank you for adding that in. Andre says just add a keyword to anything. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Right, guys, thank you so much for attending. Wow, that was 2 hours. I really didn't expect it to be that long, but there was a lot of information to go through there, guys. So thank you for being so patient. And if there's any questions, pop them in the group. Hit that like button and give us a thumbs up, and we will see you next week, guys. Thanks, Johnny. Really great having you here.
Yeah, we've got some cool things coming up. It's yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah,
for sure. Right, take care, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Smash that like button. Bye.